If you've really experienced Orlando, you know the city is a network of neighborhoods.
By the city's count, there are 115 unique neighborhoods in Orlando.
They range from classic Florida to a celebration of ethnicities and cultures.
Each one a testament to what makes this city so wonderful.
Here's a brief taste of 4 iconic Orlando neighborhoods and the characters who bring them to life.
It's the oldest and largest African-American neighborhood in Orlando, yet many don't know Paramore's significance.
It was an vision of, being a community for Black Americans during the segregation era.
Founded in the 1800s by Orlando's 14th mayor, James B. Paramore, it became a safe haven during segregation. Black churches, businesses, and growing families made up the fabric of this community. With time, things changed.
And one of the biggest challenges today is ensuring that new development does not erase Paramore's history.
Cultural landmarks keep Paramore's history alive, like the Wells Built, once a safe hotel for African-American performers, today a museum housing decades of community and civil rights memorabilia, art, and artifacts. The Dr. J.B. Callahan Building, named for the first Black physician to open a private medical practice in Orlando, it once housed the original segregated Jones High School. Now it serves as the neighborhood community center. Paramore's history also lives on through its people.
He's the first guy hit up and cut my hair 37 years ago.
And few know it like Jay Henry.
Of course, some of the tradition is gone. Let's be real about it. A lot of the old buildings are gone.
Born just down the street from the barbershop he's now owned for more than 30 years, Jay Henry keeps an old school vibe in a changing community.
They want to come to a place where they can feel safe, feel respected, treated like a customer.
He looks back fondly on the time orange groves and family-owned businesses like his dad's chicken restaurant lined the streets, but knows change has its perks.
If you don't change with the change, won't nothing change for you.
Major sports venues replaced familiar sites in town. Creative Village, Valencia, and UCF now provide opportunities for kids in their own backyard.
We can't stop what we call gentrification. I think you can talk to people about, hey, if you're opening a business, how is this going to benefit Paramore?
Businesses that care, artwork representing the people, and events that make Paramore a destination are all part of the vision for the future.
A thriving Paramore means a stronger Orlando, rooted in equity, history, and community pride.
So, first things first, I bet you get this question a lot. There is no college in College Park.
No, we do not have any colleges, and we don't really have any college connections but the name of our streets.
So Princeton, Yale, Harvard, all those streets were a marketing ploy.
Walter Rose, back in the 1920s, decided to name the streets after well-known colleges and in hopes to attract more attention towards the residential area.
Developer Walter Rose gets much of the credit for the foundation of College Park, and what better place to tell the story than one of its oldest businesses.
We moved to Florida in 1959.
Yeah.
My mother would make it a point to stop here and get us a great big sub to take home.
Kyle Gabriel is the 3rd generation of his family running Gabriel's Sub Shop.
That's like the best compliment that I can get, is when these subs taste just like they did when your grandfather had it, or back in the 50s.
A spot with strong ties to a community born out of orange groves.
We had pineapples, we had the oranges, we have families around here that, helped develop that.
Large groups of settlers would follow, and steady growth continued. By the 1920s, a building boom, and small businesses began to thrive along Edgewater Drive.
So now we still have a lot of those buildings that are 50+ years old.
And over those years, notable people called College Park home. Astronaut John Young lived here as a kid, and author Jack Kerouac made history in a home that's still used by writers to this day.
Just east of downtown, where Cimarron Boulevard stretches from Lake Underhill to the airport, the Gateway District lives up to its name.
We are pretty much the gateway to tourists to come in Orlando.
But Emil Cordova, executive director of the district, says for people who live and work here, it's much more than a pass-through.
I think that's what really makes it unique, and everybody supporting each other.
A big part of that community, the businesses, big franchises and family-owned, like High Tide Harry's.
If it swims, we probably sell it.
Brennan Heretic's dad, Mike, aka Harry, opened the restaurant 30 years ago.
We've been able to meet 3 generations, their grandkids, their parents, so I absolutely love doing this.
Brennan remembers growing up here before the development, when orange groves were replaced by storefronts and housing developments.
We are a melting pot of people from different backgrounds and cultures. Families moving in, and it's really what's making it such a vibrant district.
More than 100 new trees and dozens of banners designed by local artists line the streets, and a bold new mural adorns Sedano Supermarket.
When you live in a district like ours, what your idea, your vision is that people have it all there and they don't have to go anywhere else.
Hidden gems like the serene La Costa wetlands and Park of the Americas, and restaurants where the bartender knows your drink order, giving Gateway that small town feel 8 miles long.
Inside the T.G. Lee Dairy on Bumby Avenue, a fast-moving system prepares a jaw-dropping amount of milk.
We produce 1.2 to 1.4 million gallons a week.
The output, the pace, a world away from 1925, when Thomas Gilbert Lee's father gave him a cow named Hopper and 20 acres of land to start a dairy. By the 30s, Lee went high-tech, milking cows with machines, and in 1955, he built the processing plant on Bumby. By the late 60s, Chris Sealer's grandfather was working with Mr. Lee.
I just remember him leaving at 2 in the morning and not seeing him until 4 or 5 in the afternoon.
Chris's father worked here too for more than 30 years.
So we're going to our sleeve label room right here. This is where we put the sleeves on our bottles.
And now Chris is the GM. 3 generations who've watched T.G. Lee become the anchor of the Milk District.
I think in the past 15 years or so, we've really banded together and made it a cultural hub.
8 blocks long and 4 blocks wide, Angie Folks oversees the Milk District. It's a mix of institutions like Beefy King and the Plaza Live, and new spots for yoga, hair salons, and pet grooming.
Being able to have almost an institution like this inspire the small businesses around and just be this cultural hub, and how everybody just kind of has banded together and made it a community is very special.
Apartments and single-family homes weave throughout the Milk District. So does art. So much of it you can take a mural tour, all thriving around a powerhouse that started with a dream and a cow.
We're a local business among other local businesses, and we thrive together.
We've just scratched the surface of Orlando's last 150 years and what makes the city beautiful, the place we love to call home.
If you want to learn even more about the city's past, come visit the Orange County Regional History Center. The Orlando Collected exhibit, Where We Are Now, has done a fantastic job curating a century and a half of the city's stories.
Thanks for joining us for Chronicle Orlando at 150. Have a great night.